and welcome to another episode of Sweet Spots with your favorite witch, me, Chris Rainwaters. Today I'm here with Christina. She is a spiritual life coach, and I want to bring her services to light because they are very, very important, at least in my witchy opinion. So hi, Christina.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing this and educating people on what you do and how you can help them, because a lot of people, let's face it, they're suffering right now, and everybody's searching for a way to get out of that, and a lot of people turn to self-medicating and things of that sort. And then once they've gone down that path, then eventually they find people like us.
Yep.
That can actually help them to really get down to the bottom of it and heal themselves and live a happier life. So kind of if we could take a moment and just kind of describe exactly like what you do and what services you provide.
Yeah, so I am an energy healer, and that it means your whole aura. Everybody understands you have an aura, you have energy about you. And there's different ways we go about this. So one of my favorites is hypnotherapy.
Yes.
So it's a deep, deep, deep meditative state. We connect to your higher self, we connect to your guides, we connect to anyone that, like angels, anyone that's really here to help you for your highest and best.
Yeah.
They're around us all the time, but somebody like me helps you connect to them. We also do mediumship. We also do spiritual life coaching. That is really, what is your purpose here? Your soul can speak through, why are these things that I'm doing not working for me? And how can I bust through limiting beliefs? How can I really let my soul speak and my higher self come through so I can live my purpose here?
Right. Well, and even maybe find what your limiting beliefs even are. I know a lot of people are like, they hear that all the time, but they're like, what does that even mean? Like, what, for me, to just kind of root that out and just discover that and then release it, right?
Yeah.
So you can transcend above, as they say.
Some people who are brave will do the deep inner child healing, and that's kind of where the limiting beliefs start.
Yes. Oh, definitely. Well, it's what is it between ages 1 and 7 is when you're in theta, right? So you're just being programmed basically, yes. And then it's very hard sometimes to even remember what those programs are in order to break them to better themselves. Yeah. So how did you even get started in this? Because it's definitely not not a banker or a mortgage broker.
Yeah. So I was a mortgage broker. So
that's why it was funny.
And the funny thing is I want to sing that song at the beginning of Fresh Prince. My life got turned upside down. Right. And really that brought, I had a really big spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, and brought a lot of awakening and a lot of my spiritual gifts to the surface. And man, were they fierce.
That's amazing.
They were not going to calm down. They were like, you are going to use these gifts to better humanity or else.
And I've spoken to a few of your clients and they adore you, and every single one's like, she is the real thing, man. And she does not sugarcoat anything. Like, she doesn't do that fluff and bubbles. Like, she tells you straight up, and you have really helped these people to better their lives. I think it's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, not sugarcoated. I try to be sugarcoated,
no,
but it's just not possible for me.
Sometimes you just gotta shake them.
Yeah.
So what are your goals over the next year? I know you're fairly new at this, right? At actually making a go of it, right?
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself at the end of 2024?
At the end of 2024, I will have been on many successful podcasts.
Love that.
I have a YouTube channel we started, so please check that out. And
link is in the description. Okay.
Yeah. No, thank you. And have really just a robust set of clients that have been through either one-on-one or the group programs, and design some programs and courses that can help people have a baseline of understanding of that there's nothing wrong with them.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with them, but there are things that happen to you.
Right.
And unfortunately, you don't get to go back and make the people who had those things happen to you accountable for them. You're accountable for them. And so how to choose better, how to live better. And one of my passions is really parents. I have 2 little kids, and exactly what you're talking about, we're programming them.
Yeah.
And if we're not careful, we're going to program them in the way that we were programmed,
yeah.
and they're going to have to recover from it.
I made that mistake, because I didn't know any better at the time, and that's just how it goes. And I'm working very hard to undo it, right, as we do. But yeah, if we can nip that in the bud and at least be aware of it before we even go on the journey of parenthood, and just be more conscious parents, because, you know, again, we don't know what we don't know. So it's always good, I feel, you know, especially now that I know better, but to consult the right people and to learn the things we need to learn, so we can be in that space to really let our little ones thrive.
And the cool thing is, no matter what point in time you do it, it heals.
Absolutely.
It heals you, it heals them.
Yes.
So whether they're 1,
That's
whether they're
true.
21.
It's not too late.
It's never too
but don't
late.
worry, it's okay. Like, it happens. So what is something that people, like, most people wouldn't know about your business, like surface level wise? Is there anything special that you want to bring to light?
One of the things I think probably our whole society doesn't understand yet,
Right.
but it deals with in their daily life, is that we have an emotional body, and that's why I say energy healer, because that's our energy, it's our aura. And we have all these wounds and scars over time. You accumulate them, everyone does. And when they're not addressed, those wounds and scars and just holes in your auric field, those drop into the physical. And that's where we get disease.
Yeah.
That's where we get inflammation. That's where we get depression. That's where we get mental illness. And I've gone through this journey myself.
Same these.
Right? And so when you realize, okay, it's related, and you know, Western medicine handles, I think, really well emergency situations.
Yes. Well,
You know?
broken bones.
Yes.
And like
yes.
physical, like that. Yes.
Yeah. But there's some longer term conditions, and there's some preventative measures that we can handle in our emotional body and
Absolutely.
our energetic fields. So that, you know, most people understand energy. I'm tired, I'm energized.
Right.
But there's so much more to it.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, even the emotions that we feel, there's certain frequencies of energies as well. So, I mean, it goes on, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper
Yes.
the more you study, which is why it's so important, if you don't know a lot about this, to find an expert that can help you to manage all of these energies and just kind of live in a better and happier flow state. It's so important.
Yes.
Is there anything exciting that you have in the works that you want to announce and let us know about?
So I have the women that I went through my academy, all my certifications with, a cluster of us have created a new podcast. And
Nice.
It's a podcast, but it's also just a show on YouTube.
Mhm.
Don't have the link yet.
Okay.
But I will send it to you, so it'll be in the comments at some point.
Okay.
But it's called The Healing Harbor. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually show in real time us having these conversations, us having these energy healings, kind of modeling what women are going through. And having these conversations with, I think it's going to be about 6 to 12 women.
Wonderful.
With different aspects on different topics.
That's beautiful. Yeah, and perspective is so important. You know, you can hear the same thing so many times, but different ways, and then you don't get these 6 other ways, but the 7th way, you're like, oh,
yes,
I get it now.
Yes.
Okay. You know?
And we have those conversations. We
Yeah.
were practicing, and I was like, that's triggering for me. And then we all talked about why that was triggering for me.
Right.
And we healed that in real time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. So as far as like that type of thing, do you have like anything that like really stands out that's super like memorable, like either funny or just moving, or, you know, just something you want to share, an experience that you've had doing this job that is a biggie?
Yeah. So one of the most impactful healing sessions I had with a woman, one of the things that I can do is I can connect in with somebody else's energy, and I can feel what it feels like to be in their body. And
Don't connect to me.
Unless you want to know,
Unless you want to know what it feels like to be a chihuahua, because I'm like this, like just shaking.
I didn't used to be able to control it. Now I can control. I'm like, just me. Just keep to me. But so I can do this, and in session, I will be given messages. So one of the sessions that I was in was just so incredible, and I didn't understand at the time what was going on because I was relatively new.
Yeah.
And I said to the woman, I just feel so much loss and so much pain, and I feel like my uterus is being ripped out. And she starts bawling, and she goes, I haven't talked about this with anyone, and I have so much grief that she had an emergency hysterectomy.
Oh my gosh.
And I wasn't really prepared to hold space in this way, but
Yeah.
I jumped into it
Yeah.
and said, okay, well, let's process this.
Yeah.
Let's cleanse it. And we both cried together for about 3 minutes.
Oh.
So yeah, healings like that.
Yeah.
She carried a lot of shame, a lot of secrecy around this thing, and just hadn't ever had the space to release it.
That's gonna be hard too. I mean, just especially not having anyone to talk about like losing your womanhood, basically. At least physically, not your spiritual. But then how do you balance that and the hormones
and then we went into coaching about it.
Exactly
what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's so amazing that you can help people in that way. I thought that's beautiful.
Me too.
So if people want to learn more about your services or what you can provide, maybe have a consultation and see if maybe it would be right, how can they contact you?
Yeah, my website is the simplest, fastest way, and that's ChristinaHeike.com.
Right here on the bottom. See it? All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
We got courses, we've got one-on-one sessions, we've got group packages, and we've got multiple packages. So, hypnosis would be included, energy healing would be included, life coaching, spiritual life coaching, and then really kind of mix and match whatever is needed or called for. A lot of the time, Spirit will just tell me, okay, I think today we should work on this.
Well, let's do a little bit of thing, can we?
Yeah.
Can you ask Spirit if there's one thing that you want to tell everybody that they should know, something that needs to come out? Let's see what we get. Let's see if we get a universal message.
I love this. Okay, so if you're watching this video, this message is meant for you. You wouldn't have come across it otherwise.
Exactly.
And the message, let's see. I'm going through a process where I'm lowering my ego so my personality doesn't get in the way.
Absolutely. Gotta connect.
The message is that it's all happening for you. Every problem that you think is a problem is a speed bump in your growth. And just trust that.
It's beautiful.
Simple.
I love it. Sometimes that's what they say, simple but not easy, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Yeah, I love it. I feel a bunch of tingling come in when I can finally actually feel it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, here it is.
When you're talking about the angels and stuff, I got goosebumps. I was like,
they're around us all the time.
Yes. I have my main spirit guide. His name is Steve, but he's not a he, and his name isn't Steve. But you know how it is.
Right.
That's just how I would best identify. And I was like, what's your name? And he's like, it's not. There's no English word for it. You can just call me Steve. I'm like, cool. Now he's Steve. So
I connected with my kids, my 2-year-old spirit guides, and they were all mini little infant baby versions.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, that's so
I
perfect.
love that.
And I was like, really? And they're like, no, it doesn't really matter. It's just what's what's making sense to you.
Exactly, right? Because that's how they come to you in a way that you can accept them and recognize. So I love that. So beautiful. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Christina. Again, ChristinaHeike.com if you want more information from her, and then all of her social and stuff is linked down below in the description. Thank you for watching this episode of Sweet Spots, and we will catch you on the next one.